So, John,
What do people want more than a low price? Well, here's the thing. If you ask people, this is why often focus groups, for even formal focus groups, and certainly the informal ones you get on places like LinkedIn, where you say, hey, I've got this idea. What would you pay for a service like this? Is the most dim-witted fucky thing you can do. Because you're asking people to pay money for something which doesn't even exist. And they'll just make something up. I mean, they just want to, sometimes they want to be helpful. Sometimes they think this is an ego thing. I need to have an opinion here. But what they're not doing is getting into the nub of sales, which is what's the pain?
Yeah.
If it hurts, it doesn't matter what they'll pay. I mean, I think I said this before. It might have been on the Q&A, but it may have been on a podcast. I don't know. We talk a lot about these things. But if someone had said to me back in, say, September 2017 or 2018, when it was, 17, how much would you pay to have plastic lenses put in your eyes? I'd say nothing. I'm not interested. Why would I bother? Fast forward 2 months when they said, by the way, we can't give you laser surgery because your eyes ain't quite right for it, but you've got cataracts and you're going to go blind in so many years. All of a sudden, I've got immense, not physical, but there's a huge pressure for me to get something done with my eyes, and the only real alternative to going blind is to have plastic things stuck in your eyes. So all of a sudden, I would have paid a lot of money, and I did pay a lot of money. And as we said the day, I would have paid more. Have the opportunity. I offered to pay more, and they said no, we don't do that. More fool you. So to ask people in a fucking informal or formal focus group, what would you pay for this service? It is a very superficial, almost facile question, because you're not thinking about, well, what's their pain here? You're just not.
No.
Another more facetious one here is, what would people be prepared to pay for a vasectomy? Well, again, stupid question. If you're in your 20s and you don't have children yet, you're probably not interested. Me, fucking hell, it was the best 130 quid I ever spent some 18 years ago. It's just a stupid question. It's almost without context. So really, if you want to find out what people will pay for something, you have to put them through a sales process and keep putting the price up until you start getting some serious resistance. That's the only way. Mm-hmm. Because what people want more than a low price, there's a few things, but there's 7 which spring to mind pretty much immediately off the top of this bald head of mine. The first is, to touch on what we've just said, is that they want a cessation of pain. They've got a problem. No one buys anything except to solve a problem. Now, what the problem is very much context dependent. For me, say my golf handicap is utterly irrelevant. So's an emergency dentist right now. But when I cracked my tooth a few years ago, I really wanted an emergency dentist very quickly because my tooth hurt. So they want a cessation of pain. They want a solution to problems. That's much more important than price. Second thing is they actually want knowledge and experience. We've said before, again, I'm not sure if I've said it on the podcast or not, but people have got this frustration where they assume if you understand their problem and what the pain they're going through, if you understand it, if you can relate to it, they automatically assume you know how to solve it. It's not always true. Like I said, my doctor friend, he would often speak to people who had terminal cancer, and they'd be relieved, like, oh, fucking hell, at last we know what's wrong with me. What do we do about it? And nothing, you just die. He can't solve their problem, but there's a sense of relief when they know someone understands anything. So we understand our guys' pain, and they can't get the right clients, they can't sell to them at the right fees. And when they do get work, it's really difficult to keep it flowing because they're reliant on cold calls, on accidental calls coming in, word of mouth. It's all ad hoc. We know their pain. When we talk to them about their pain, they think, yeah, you understand their pain. They assume we can fix it. And of course we can. That's the thing. We do know how to fix it. But that would be true. They would believe that whether or not it was actually true we could. So they want cessation of pain, and they want knowledge of it and experience. Third thing they want, more than a low price, is timely delivery. If you've got a large, say, building project going on, and you need to have, say, the electrics in before you can plaster the walls and finish the decorating, and everything's on this critical path, you want timely delivery. It's no good having an electrician who'll come in at half the price if you can't get it done until next year and hold every other cunt up on the fucking site. It just doesn't make any sense.
Let alone the lost revenues from the delays.
It's much more important than price. And not all of these things will apply to everyone all at the same time. but they're all examples of things in a hat you can pull out and say, well, this is more important. This is more important.
Look at Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
You know, this it's almost like fucking paying your tax, isn't it? Now your Amazon Prime subscription, so you can get it next day.
I mean, I pay Amazon Prime. It costs me what, £7-8 a month. And not only do I get quicker delivery, it's as often as not, it's free, even to Ireland.
Yeah.
It probably saves me 30-40 a month.
And it's convenient.
But there are some months I don't use it at all. So I mean, that's another thing. That, you know, time delivery, and they want convenience. They also want accurate delivery. They want what they pay for. They don't want to buy a blue stainless steel widget and get a rubber fucking mallet through the post. You know, they just don't. And of course, efficiency and competence costs money. It just does. I mean, is there anything more frustrating than someone who, say you buy a washing machine online? Not only is it delivered late, so it's not timely, but it's also delivered with bits missing. You know, how frustrating is it? Nowadays, it doesn't happen so much because I think the law has changed. But when I was a kid, you'd get presents and things for Christmas, and there'd be no batteries in them, and you couldn't use it.
That was the worst. That still happened when I was young.
Yeah, so I mean, that's not strictly about accurate delivery. That's just how it was then. But it's, you know, you order something, you put this package of things together in your shopping basket, and that's what you fucking expect to get. Well, that's much more important than price.
Here's an example. Before we went back into lockdown, so it's pretty pointless now, I ordered some new football shoes because I just joined the team. They played on AstroTurf, and I didn't have any appropriate football shoes. So I went on ProDirectSoccer.com, where I've always got my football gear and whatnot. And I thought, I'll try some new shoes from a brand I don't usually buy from. So I bought these really cool Puma Kings, if anyone's interested in football. They were like a limited edition release. And looking at the sizing, it said runs true to size. Well, so I ordered my usual size that all my other football shoes are and fit just fine. And they came. And they're probably about 2 sizes too small. So unless my feet have grown, and I did have to check this and tried on my other football shoes, but they were about two sizes too small. I'm never going to buy Puma shoes ever again.
How frustrating is it? Because, you know, you'd have paid more just to forego this fucking frustrating experience of not having your problem solved. Oh, even if you get your money back, it's not the point, is it?
It's the time wasted. It's, you know, the time that I spent choosing it. Yeah, and now I've got to tell you, they're still actually, because they arrived before Christmas, they're still in my wardrobe because I just can't be bothered to go to the post.
Yeah, I'm the same. There's more than once I've bought stuff and it's come and it's not right, and I just cannot be bothered to send it back.
I say this to Tamsin often because she gets annoyed. Well, why haven't you sent it back yet? The hour it's going to take me to send this back. If I spend that hour on the business, I'm going to make fucking 4 times the money I spent on it.
And I must admit, to me, it runs against the grain to send things back. It just does. It's not about being embarrassed or finding it awkward. I just can't be bothered. But what I do is I just don't give those people my business again.